Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Friends of Mortgage Heroes. I'm Andy.
I'm Will.
And today we have with us Omar Beltran.
Yes.
And so Omar is going to join us. We're going to talk all about his life, his career, and give you some insights on what makes what he does so special and so interesting, especially in a time just like this. As you've already seen with Friends of Mortgage Heroes, Will, Brian, and myself bring together friends of ours in and around mortgage and real estate to help you learn more, figure out what it is you want to do in real estate if you're interested in that. But if you're a consumer, we have solutions for you regularly with qualified people that do things that you might need help with. So today, we're really excited to have you, Omar. Thank you for being here on the show.
Hey, thank you guys for bringing me on the show, and I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, man. And so, just like you mentioned, you couldn't say better, Andy, but it's all about giving back to the community, right? A lot of times we make the things difficult because of the lack of understanding. So bringing a person expert like Omar here with Sprawl Design, it's phenomenal to understand that, hey, how can we build an ADU? That's the biggest thing that's going on here in California. And that's what makes it so, interesting. And that's why I was like, how do I bring Omar in here? How do I have him just come and give information to our audience? Because I'm super excited. I have my plans, Omar. I know I shared with you. I have my plans. I point upstairs because they're upstairs. I am so ready to create this project. And if it weren't for you, and I got to give you kudos to all of this, but if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't know how do I start in the beginning. And so this is all about, can you please share with our audience, what is it that you do?
So we, like I said, we try to help people with their, architecture, basically plans and stuff like that. So anybody that has any, room additions, any ADUs, any garage conversion to ADUs, either to get, extra income or to just use it for the family, we can help them basically design it, do the construction plans and, all move it all the way to submit to the city and then, eventually get a permit for construction.
And so we're talking about ADUs. Most of our audience don't understand what an ADU is, right? The acronym is an additional dwelling unit. And these are things that are really right now getting other people to think outside the box. And how do I create more money? How do I bring Andy maybe next month to live in my house by doing an ADU and charge him?
I don't know if you want to do that. You might want to bill me. I'm not sure you want me there.
But those are the things that you're actually helping people just imagine and visualize what you're able to create for them, Omar.
Yeah, correct. We have about 8 years experience, and we're hoping to help more people that way. But yeah, right now ADUs are booming right now in this Chula Vista. All over San Diego County, LA County, everywhere in California basically. All the laws and this time they're basically trying to accommodate more people. Because of the housing crisis, right? There's a housing crisis right now, and then, people trying to, make income. And as you can know, building a house or even, trying to buy a new home, sometimes it's out of the question for a lot of people, right? So this is a great way for people to, just build something that is not going to be a, cost as building or buying a home. Just do garage conversion. It's already there. That I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it.
So let's talk about that real quick, because I know some people, they hear the word or they hear the term ADU, they've heard of accessory dwelling units, but they don't know that also equals garage conversion. So take us down that path really quick, because I know on specifically here, and you go to the west side of Chula Vista, you do see a lot of these garage conversions that it might even still have the garage door on the outside, but behind that garage door, it's actually a converted dwelling space. So can you talk to the audience a little bit about what that is, what it entails, what some of the popularity is it behind it is, and how people can benefit from that?
Yeah, so basically it's there, right? If you have a garage, you can convert it, right? And like I said, people are looking for extra income, or they have a big family, they can put somebody in there. Maybe that you want to use it for themselves, for the moms, or whatever, or rent it, right? So as far as having a detached ADU is gonna cost them more money as opposed to converting something they already have. Maybe the garage they don't use it that often, and so they just convert it. The four walls are already there, footings are there, foundation is there. So the cost to basically convert that into an accessory dwelling unit and make extra money on that is gonna be minimal compared to actually do something from ground up, right?
What's What's the most common one? Like, is it a 2-car garage or 1-car garage? And what can you get out of that? Is it a studio, 1 bedroom? What do you get out of that? Because it seems too small, right, Andy? Like,
Well,
I'm going to put you in my garage.
Well, what's interesting, as he's saying this, I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of different sizes of garages, right? And depending on what decade they were made in, there were different sizes.
Correct.
Some are 20 by 20, some are less than that. But then I'm also thinking, okay, wait a minute. Most people's homes nowadays have like a furnace or the water heater, or the furnace isn't in the attic, or it has the water heater in it, so then that's got to go somewhere. So my mind was already turning, like, okay, hold on, there's other follow-up questions here. So talk to us about some of those things, like what do people get out of converting it?
Yeah.
Can they get a 1-bedroom, like with a little living room and a mini kitchen kind of deal, or what?
Yeah.
What do you make with that space?
Yeah, so it's crazy what people can do with spaces, right? So,
Yeah.
typically it's 2-car garage, right? We're talking about maybe 400, 450 square feet, right? So let's say, typically people have the, water heaters in there, maybe the laundry in there. So what happens, like...
Washer dryer.
So basically they can actually put that outside, and create like an enclosure or maybe...
Like a cabinet or something?
Yeah,
or
as long as, the enclosure and then, the one of hookups, obviously everything can get taken care of on the actual permit. And so if not, they can just, have one of those more modern, washer and dryer they can put it inside the house. If they have like a small closet, they can do that too. It's just up to, whoever's doing the project, right? But
stackable, stackable washer and dryer.
That's what Steph and Mark did. My in-laws, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law did that.
Europeans, they have 2-in-1 basically.
The 2-in-1,
2-in-1. Some of them don't need any vents. but yeah. So what happens? So you do the garage conversion, and then you take all the equipment, equipment outside, and basically you create a unit. Now it depends how you want to separate everything, right? Usually you can do a studio, right? But some people prefer more privacy, so they do a room, and then it just depends. Some of the areas they do 2 rooms. I mean, they're gonna be small.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
New York style.
Yeah. So for example, especially areas where you have a lot of students, right? You can rent it by rooms.
Okay,
stuff like that.
That makes sense.
So they can do that too. And
then it's more like a dorm room kind of setup. Maybe I don't mean a dorm to dismiss the quality of what you're doing. I'm saying like the tightness and the kind of the space.
Yeah.
But if it's 2 people, that might actually get you split rent or some deal like that, like you're talking about.
Yeah. So building code basically you can do as at a minimum 70 square feet. So you can
70.
imagine 70 square feet.
So it's like
room.
this table.
Yeah.
plus a little bit.
Where does my bed fit?
As long as you have an egress window.
Egress window. Okay.
Like
for fire code.
For fire code.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, got it. All right.
Any emergency people can get out.
They got to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So
I jumped out the window.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good story. It's the start to a good story. The other day I jumped out my window. Wait, what happened? How did we get to that point? Right? We jumped to that.
No, it's pretty incredible. But you're absolutely right, Omar. I've seen a 1-car can be converted to. It's got its small little kitchenette, a little dining, not a dining table, but a small where you
like a dinette.
a breakfast table per se, and a 1 bedroom with a 1 bath with the stackable washer and dryer. And when you go in it, when you see it from outside, you're kind of like, who's going to live in there? Like, are you kidding me? Then you go inside and you're like, whoa, it just looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
Even with walls up, it doesn't even have to necessarily be a studio. Because we also know that a studio is going to rent less than a 1 bedroom. You know? So you always want to maximize your profit, right, where you're investing into it. What's going to be my rate of return on my investment back?
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. I didn't even think about that. I mean, there's obviously a price difference between saying it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, or a 1 bedroom, half bath, whatever, and then you got like a studio.
Exactly.
That does make a difference.
You know what's crazy about all this? Omar was just talking about, because of the housing shortage, the housing crisis. He's not even in the mortgage industry or the real estate industry, but yet he understands affordability. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? All this stuff is just leaking into the other buckets where now you're understanding the importance of that. And I think that's why California has actually encouraged people by putting those ADU rules and regulations in place to encourage homeowners.
And what's interesting is that, back in the month of January, just this year, back in the month of January, we already saw like refinance applications already starting to pick up again. Yeah. So like nationwide refinances were picking up, and we're like, okay, well, that can't be because of rate and term. So they have to be cash outs. They have to be some sort of, they're looking to either build something or cure debt or whatever. But in a lot of cases that we're talking to people, it's because of this. They're trying to do something with their yard and they got the space, or they're trying to do their garage conversion. So, I want to pivot if I can. Can I pivot
towards more
the accessory side?
Yeah.
Like, cool. You got the garage thing. I know we could probably talk about garages for like an hour. So if you're interested in the garage conversation, put a comment below. We'll make sure you get connected with Omar. You can have that garage conversation. If you need financing for that, you can talk to Will.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this accessory dwelling unit because I know we've experienced a lot of conversations in 2023 about this. There were some rules that changed back in 2023. There was a massive, massive push by a lot of people to get ADUs that didn't do it in 22, and a lot of people already did it in 22. So it seemed like even more showed up in 2023. What is your projection for them in 2024, and what do you most often see people making them for? What's the purpose?
Yeah, so I definitely see more ADUs, more garage conversion, being built. And this is because, rent is going up, right? And, and mortgages are going up. I don't think houses prices are going to go down, right?
Yeah.
So, what are the alternatives out there for people? Normal people, average Joe like me, right? Hey, I have an extra space. I don't use that much. Let's take advantage of that, right?
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the people, have, some equity in their homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, equity in there. I don't know, the market condition. I don't know what's going to happen a year down the line. As much as well use it right now, so I can take advantage of the money as well. So, yeah, I see that happening a lot more than previous year. And and every year it seems like it's getting better and better for people that want to take that route. Use also there's new laws are coming in effect like SB9. SB9 was already established I think last year, and basically you can homes that were zoned as single. Then now that you can do a duplex.
Right.
In a duplex, you can have 2 homes, and you can build now 2 more ADUs.
Yeah.
So in essence, 4 units.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a great opportunity for normal people and also for investors out there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see more like when you're talking about a homeowner, are you seeing that they're using it more as like an investment style, or they're bringing like family in?
Yeah, honestly, I'll say 9 out of 10 is for investment. For
Yeah.
Wow.
they want to rent it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I was saying, I'm like, he's going to say 50-50. Nope, it's not 50-50. Not even close. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and it's crazy. Sometimes when I meet people, I ask them, so what do you want to do this for? And they're like, I want to put my kids in there. I want to put my mom in there. But, down the line, they actually open up with me and like, I actually want to rent it. It just maybe that some people think this is illegal. And so
gotcha.
Interesting.
they just don't open up, from the get-go, right? But
Okay. That's
But it's true. Back in 2023, you had the ADU was meant for you to have a kind of like a granny flat. It had to
Right.
be like a family member, and so
Yeah.
you would sign a deed, right?
Yeah.
That it would specify right there that you would actually. It's not gonna be for investment, and I believe they removed that for 2024, right?
Yeah, so what happened...
For junior ADUs.
Yeah, junior ADUs. Difference between junior ADU and an ADU basically is an agreement you sign with the with a jurisdiction, City of Chula Vista, City of
Yeah.
San Diego, and then you do for certain years, 15 years, I think. And it's just something that, some cities have in place just to make sure, they don't overuse it, right?
Yeah.
Or underuse it.
I see.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think eventually it's gonna be moved away or something like that. But
Yeah, because I think they were also saying that 2025, Omar, they're going to remove the ADUs. That's what they were thinking. But what's your take on that?
Well, like I said, it's been getting better and better for for ADU people.
Yeah.
That want to go that route. And housing shortage is not going to go away. So I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. So
There you go.
there's
And
only a minor sector of the population. They're maybe not happy with it, but that's where we're going. And everybody needs a place to to live, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of options out there. So basically, ADUs is a great opportunity for people to make money, and then people that want to rent rent something nice, new, affordable, and it's a win-win for both.
I mean, it is true. Everything's gone up. Inflation's, we're not going to lie. It's there, and it's
what
going to
it
be
is,
there for a while. So people, I think that's smart what they're doing. Hey, let me use some of my equity. Let me put into and add more value to my home, because as you add these ADUs to your property, you're actually adding value to it.
Yeah.
So it's not like money that's being misspent, right? It's not
Well,
like
right.
you're spending it to go buy a bigger car or anything like that. But when you're taking this money and you're building on your land something else, you're just creating that much more value. And you're doing a service to your community, because now you're bringing affordability, home affordability to them if they're renting.
Yeah, I mean,
Correct.
the only way that's not true is if it just goes unused. But that's not the case. There's just too much
That's not the
demand.
case.
So I mean, it is definitely an increase of the value of your asset over the course of time, whether that's in 12 months or 12 years. But I mean, I think what I'm hearing you say is like people may have the intention of it being for extended family or taking care of somebody or whatever, but ultimately it's making money. It should be bringing revenue towards the household.
Yeah. I mean, once they open it up, I mean, once they built it, once they get the permits going, when they start building it, and once they see the potential, they this is a cash cow.
Yeah.
I want to do some more. So it's funny. I want to talk about this an example of a project that I did in a county. This is actually county. Was it CD right here, right next on the 54?
Bonita?
No, not Bonita. Further down.
National City?
No, National City on the county side.
On the county side?
Hamul.
Oh,
Yes.
How much?
Okay.
Hamacha, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the city? Is that I think it's
Spring Valley?
Spring Valley.
Yeah,
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley is an incorporated city from San
right.
Antonio County. So I did a project there. It was a garage conversion, and actually what we did there, I believe it was 450 square feet garage. We converted into an EDU, 2 rooms, and living room, kitchen,
Yeah.
and the dining room. Right. What is the client doing right now with the project now? And it originally was going to be for just to rent it out, normal, right, for long term, right?
Yeah.
Now he put it on Airbnb, and he's making like maybe double what he thought he was going to be doing.
Wow.
And I went and looked, Airbnb website, and I saw the basically the end up product.
Wow.
And it was just constantly getting rented.
Wow.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
That's got to be a really good little portfolio example for you too, right? I mean, as a business owner, right?
Yeah,
That's got to be
yeah.
good for you as an example to show people like, look, here's what one of my clients is doing, and I'm going to do your project for however much it's going to cost you, but here's your revenue possibility over here.
Yeah. This is not happening everywhere. Citizen Deo, has for Airbnb or for any other, business like that.
They have a lottery system
They have
there.
a lottery system. So, it might not work for you, but, you also have, short-term rentals, like, nurses, cops, we have a lot of CBP here. Cops, they come for training and they need a place to stay for 3 months. So you can
Didn't even
basically
think about that.
have-
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
No, keep going. No, keep going.
So and basically you can rent it, short-term rentals, and with furniture already.
Yeah.
You can you can charge a little bit more, and that's another extra income. And
So I think a lot of people, what happens, Andy, Omar, like myself, I'm talking from experience, right? I've already done a few ADUs, and I actually have that project that we're currently working together with. But it's more of the, how do I start? It sounds so difficult. Is it that difficult, Omar? I'd rather you say it.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. You just gotta get with the right person, right? From the get go. In our company, what we have is basically we basically we take you in and we tell you all the process. We tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And at that point, we make an appointment. I go to the site, check out the site, and I basically get your ideas. And I basically mush my ideas with your ideas, and that product is gonna be something practical, affordable, and that's gonna make sense in your area.
Yeah. No, I know, and I thought it was going to be very difficult, but when we started, and then you started helping me on my other project, it was just so easy. I thought I was going to have to be on top of usually it's top of a designer, because that's what you are as a designer. Yeah. We know that an architect they have different type of rules and that have in place, but in your case, I'd rather have gone with a designer, and I'm telling you, I thought I was going to be like the last experiences, Andy, when I had to do my own. Oh my God, it took like 2 years with it was a nightmare, And then so now I come with Omar, and he's on top of me. Will, when are you gonna pay the school fees? Will, when are you gonna? So I'm like, man, Omar's good. He's like on top of his stuff. But the process was a lot easier than what I thought, and it was not as expensive as I thought. For a garage conversion, there's different fees that you have to pay versus doing an additional dwelling unit. Anytime right now, it's over, 500 square feet that you can do for a junior ADU? Can you tell us some more about that?
So the different rules, right? For ADUs, you can do, as little as 150, 250, and as much as 1,200 square feet. It depends if you have the space in your house, right? For junior ADUs, you cannot go more than 500 square feet. And then once you go 500 more than 400 square feet, you have to pay school fees.
Correct.
You got to think about that. But sometimes even so, if you pay a lot of fees up front, I mean, you want to maximize what you have, right? If you have the space to build something in the back, maybe 1,200 square feet, which is the max, you want to go ahead and do it maybe because you can do 3-2, which is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
You can rent it for more. Obviously, you're gonna be paying more, but if you have the money, why not do it? Maximize the profit. And because once you build something, let's say you build something for 500 square feet, right? You don't pay school fees. You sell it money, but you got to do the kitchen. You got to do the bathrooms. So it makes more sense. You want to do that. Build something bigger. The cost is not gonna be that much, but you're gonna get more in rent.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But that's the thing, right? Like fees. A lot of people are very concerned with that. So now, and that's what happened with me when I went to the school. There's 2 school districts. I had Chula Vista and I had Sweetwater. So I had to go to each one and pay it. And this time around, I want to do it myself. The time before, I allowed the architect to do everything for us. I would just get the bill and I would send the payment. This time I said, you know what? Let me try it differently, which just gave me that more excitement and better experience, kind of doing it yourself,
Yeah.
So I went to the Chula Vista. How much in fees? Yeah, okay, for the 500, no fees. For the 900 and change, yeah, I had my fees. And just like you said, but it's all worth the while.
Yeah.
It's all worth the while. If you already have the space and you're already going through the process, you might as well just kind of look at it as a bigger project. But also know there's a lot of people that are limited. So if they're converting the garage, it's pretty affordable. It's pretty fast, right, Omar?
Yes. I mean, that's another option. That's a great option. I mean, like I said, 4 walls are there, foundation is there. They only got to do just some minor upgrades, kitchen, bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes. Even for junior year, you don't have to have a bathroom inside. You can share the house bathroom. You can have access from the house to the junior ADU, and as long as you have an access to the outside from the junior ADU, that's an option too. So you're saving on the bathroom. So I mean, construction costs money, but it's at the same time, it's not gonna be that much as what people think.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, Andy, some people build the ADUs with the garage door still there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm one of those.
Yeah, no, I see them. I see them on the west side. I get it. I totally get it.
Because just aesthetically, for me, it conforms, right? If I just put a wall with 2 windows, it kind of looks, and there's a driveway right there. For me, it just kind of looks like I'm telling everybody else this is junior ADU or somebody lives there,
It's ADU in secret. In plain sight, hiding in plain sight, right? Hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, you're doing this process with Omar, but you mentioned already you've been doing this for 8 years. You're obviously in the middle of this like fury of ADU building and garage converting right now. Like, what is the thing you love most about this? What just drives you to do this?
Yeah, so I guess helping people. And I like meeting people too. I mean, it's great to, different people, different cultures. For example, in El Cajon, there's a lot of, Chaldeans out there.
Yeah.
I love those people. City San Diego, just a mixture, Indians, Mexicans, Chula Vista, more Mexicans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like meeting people. I like the change and, basically the stories behind, what they're trying to do, the projects. I like designing. My background is civil engineering. And so I love, in designing, it's all about, basically fixing problems, solutions for problems. I like that. I like, it keeps me motivated. Okay, what's next? What's next? And, a lot of the project for ADU projects, they're not that long. So, once I finish one project, a problem, I fix it, solution, boom, client's happy, or let's move to the next one. And if I get paid on that, that's extra for me. So, yeah.
Well, okay, so you mentioned you like solving problems. Where does that go? Go a little more on that. Where does that come from? Can you think of a point in your life or your growth and development maturity where you realized, oh, I like solving specific types of problems?
Yeah. So, like I said, my background is engineering. So, since I was a little kid, I was like Legos and stuff like that, building Legos and stuff. I always thought I was going to be an architect, either an architect or lawyer, right? And so
building buildings or building cases.
Oh boy, yeah.
So for me, building and actually seeing something getting built, it just it brings in a lot of joy.
That's awesome.
So and on top of that, I like helping people. I like talking to people. So That's where it comes from, I guess.
So were you doing civil engineering right before you converted? You converted.
Yeah.
You started doing this designing 8 years ago. What were you doing right before this?
Yeah. So what I have in my background is basically I went to ITT Technical.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
school no longer exists.
Yeah,
Basically,
crazy.
I got a degree from drafting degree.
Mm.
At that time, I was like, I think it was 19 years old. I didn't know exactly what to do, but I knew it was something had to do with some engineering drafting, right? So I took that, and basically I got a job here in San Diego with a very big firm. You just drafting electrical, all that stuff, and I really got into it. But then, I knew, my path was not gonna be just a drafter. I want to be something else. So I was like, okay, what am I good for? Oh, I like solving problems, engineering. I like engineering, so I go for engineering, civil engineering. So I got a bachelor's in civil engineering from San Diego State. And then from there, okay, so, what's next? So should I go for, private or, public? Then, I chose private, to get a little more experience. And then I did that maybe like a year and a half. And then, I started working with the city of San Diego. And then basically I was there for like 10 years, continued working there. And now at the same time, I said, you know what? I like to have my own business, which I encourage a lot of people to do, right? If you have a W-2 job, always have something like a business on the side because you get a lot of tax write-offs and stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and then,
I'm sensing it gave you more flexibility to do what you really have passion for, not
Yes.
just locked into the lane of like the work you're assigned,
Exactly.
right? Is that kind of where I'm
Exactly.
guessing? Is that where we're going?
well, yeah, because, you have, like I say, you have the possibly basically in your own destiny, right? Your business, and you helping people solving problems, and it's a win-win for me and as far as my growth. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That's really cool,
That's
man.
really neat.
And so right now you have Sprawl Design, and then you also work for the city.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I know I leveraged that relationship with you quite a bit because you already knew exactly
Right.
what I needed to do
Yeah.
and how I needed to do that. So that even the guidance was for me that much easier.
Right.
And that's why I continue. Omar, you're one of my best referrals that I have to send out to people. I'm like, just go to Omar. He already understands it. He already knows what the city's looking for. You're not going to get the ifs or buts. He's going to give it to you the way it is.
Yeah, yeah, and so it's crazy how I have people calling me from LA, people from Riverside.
Oh, wow.
So we can help anybody as long we basically know the requirements of the city. I'm pretty sure once you do something for a long time, you get familiar with basically everything, and you try to make everything more efficient. So. I guess, now you basically get Omar 2.0 because all the experience that we have, right?
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So what do you see everything heading like moving forward with the whole housing and the ADUs? Where do you see we're heading?
Well, more ADUs, I think, because, like the housing shortage is not going to stop. It's just crazy here, especially here in California. They cannot build enough homes, and even the homes that they built, maybe a lot of them are not affordable for normal people.
Yeah.
So, especially everybody trying to basically live to a nice community. It's out of the question. So, and if people can basically convert the garages or do a detached ADU or take advantage of SB9, have 4 units in there, it's a great solution for that problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I guess maybe 5 years from now, we'll talk next 5 years. But right now, I don't see it. This is slowing down.
Yeah.
And what do you see as far as you and your trajectory with your design company? Where is it you're going? What is it that you are like aspiring for? You're reaching for those next 3 years, 5 years? Like, talk to us about like your own business. Like, what is it you have aspirations for?
Yeah, so we have a lot of aspirations, right? And
Yeah.
especially this 24, happy New Year to everybody out there. We have a lot of goals, a lot of inspirations. So what we're trying to do is basically, like I said, try to see what our setbacks were in 2023, and basically grow more, right? We're trying to help more people, and right now the opportunity is there. We just need to present ourselves, get to know more people. Most of our people that come to us is basically people that we met before, referrals and stuff. That's how how a lot of the clients come to our company. But now we're trying to, be more, on the social media and stuff like that, and get us to know out there, so we can help more people. And so that's the goal for 2024. Just grow, basically help more people, try to accomplish more projects for this year.
What's been one of the most satisfying projects you've worked on, or stories that you've been a part of in this 8 years of doing this, as far as a designer, separate from your job, running your own show and all that? What's been something that's just you think back and you go, wow, that was just a really gratifying experience?
Helping me.
Yeah.
Help it.
That was one.
That
was one.
Exclude me.
Present company excluded.
Well, I mean, you never know. I met William through another person, and basically, that brought me here, right? So I'm really grateful for this opportunity. But yeah, I have another example, a great example. I did with John, actually, the contractor. Yeah. So he referred me to their clients, and this couple, and this is in La Mesa. This couple had a garage, right? And so the guy, his mom was basically wanted to live with them. She didn't have any option, basically. And so happy, basically the couple, live in the house, and they wanted to, basically move the mom somewhere. They didn't have options, right? So they thought, okay, maybe if we can convert the garage, we can have our mom live there. And so that was, and I think, having the mom there with them, living with them, it was creating, some chaos, something, resentment, tension. And so I came in, and basically I show them, okay, yeah, we can convert this. They didn't know if it was possible or not. But, I show them, okay, you can do this. We can, basically put the kitchen here, bathroom here. And she was so happy. She's like, I'm ready to move, Omar. Let's do it, because, I want to have my own space. And so I think, about 3 months ago, I went back and, visit her. And, I wanted to take some shot and, see how she was doing. And she was all happy, like, hey, thank you. This really, now I have my own privacy. And there were a couple, they're happy now. So the mom is out of the house, so.
That's awesome. Because here's a misconception. I like going back to the garages, right? One, it's a lot more affordable. If you don't have a big budget, you can start with that. Mm-hmm. Start with the garage. It's not as big as expense as people think, right? Then you have the misconception that people go into the garage, they remind themselves being there in the summer, where you go into this, you go in there and you see the freaking no drywall in there, just the beams, the wood, the studs, right? And you're just like, it's hot as heck in here. So that's what we picture. Mm-hmm. What's crazy is once you put the drywall, you put the wall, you could put mini splits, so you can have your own AC, you can have your own heater. It's just like, this wasn't even a garage. Yeah, from outside it looks like one, but when you go inside, it's like, whoa, this place is pretty nice.
Well, and I'm hearing your story, and then I'm hearing you give this description, and that is where I think freedom came from these people, right? We might think of our garage that way, and maybe most people's garages are that way. Maybe it's an unfinished garage, right? It doesn't have drywall on the other side.
Correct.
But and then look, let's be honest. There's a lot of people that don't use their garage for cars. They just use it for extra stuff and crap, and it just whatever. But then to turn it into something that is so memorable, not only for the family, but it's meaningful, that creates freedom, and it allows that relationship to continue, maybe without that tension. That's a really profound experience to have when we're talking about, we're building this thing and it costs this much money and it can make this much money. But look at the non-financial, tangible impact it can have in someone's life. That's a big deal. And I know that who watches our channel, they're going to relate to that as well. There's going to be the money aspect. People, oh yeah, cool, I want to make that extra dough every month. And there's going to be people that I need this space, but I want that person to buy me, just not all in my space. Same way. So thank you for sharing that. That's really important. I know there's probably a lot of more people watching and that would feel gratified by that too, and we'll just never know. So now you're going to have to comment.
So there it is. I mean, Omar, you the project was completed, and you go back to the house and you knock right there just to see, how does she feel? And I mean, how rewarding did that feel that you were able to find a solution for them?
Yeah, and then she remembered, she remembered me too. So, but she's older. She's an older lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great experience for me, and I took a lot of pictures in there. But yeah, she was very happy, and then she was showing me, this is where I take the coffee, and then this is where I have my pantry and all that. And I was like, great for you. So
took you for a tour.
Pride of ownership.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and it was crazy because I actually designed the whole thing, but it's kind of gratifying to see how people get to use it.
Yeah.
Right, the way you intended it, and some people modify stuff, but it's all good as long as it works for you. You make it your own. It's your own house, so I'm more than happy.
I mean, Omar, you share this.
Great.
I did that with my mother-in-law. I built and extended the part of my house, for them to live there. And I know my wife in the beginning thought like, oh, we're gonna see them every day, like they're gonna be here or whatever. But I'll tell you, just having that separate door and having that comfortable space that you accommodate, it's like they're not even there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's so cool that you can go right next door, and then I used to go to the neighbors for sugar, milk, or whatever. Now I just go with my mother-in-law. When Tanya wants to buy sugar, I'm like, don't do that, or milk, don't do that. We'll just go next door.
Go see if mom's got eggs.
Yeah. And it is funny because on the weekends I'll go over there and knock, and she's always has like cookies. She's like Betty Crocker, right? So she'll go in there, have cookies. I just go over there and I knock. Hey, I see cookies. I see. So I just take it. So I'm glad.
No joke. This is totally not scripted part of the show. But when I had to go back in December to get the birthday cards and do all that, her note to me was, the birthday cards are on the counter next to the business cards, and take the tin of cookies.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm winning right now.
It doesn't get any better. So you sharing that she felt like she has that privacy, that's exactly why we do these things. So I'm glad that you find those, you're finding the solutions.
And you know what? Some people don't know, but once you do part of the code, to build a garage conversion like that, you have to have a 1 hour rated separation, and not only noise reduction. So if people worry that whoever they rent it to, they're gonna be too loud, it's not. It's just part of the building code. You have to keep it 1 hour rated, and also noise reduction.
Wow.
So that's great too. And then you rent it in there. You don't hear your neighbors.
Nice.
I almost forgot about this though, but I seem to remember you and I had a conversation about you can do the garage conversion and you can build a second story. Is that correct? We didn't talk about that though.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing right now. Okay.
Correct.
So let's talk about that part because we've been talking about garage conversion just in the context of single story, whatever, but you can do a second story as well from what we were talking about.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. Okay, share with the audience what they need to know, what some common questions are about that, and then what that could look like.
Yeah, so I mean, some people they want to use a garage, right? So what are the options they have? Well, I mean, if we build in the back, maybe that's gonna be too expensive, right? So they can go vertical.
Or limited space.
Yeah, limited space too. So they can go vertical, and then basically they're gonna be saving some money there because they build it on top of existing floor garage in this case. And so another thing to consider is like how far are you from the utility connections, water, sewer, electrical. So having the 2-story ADU or junior ADU on top, basically it's right there, you just connect you right there as opposed to having, maybe 40, 50 feet in the back, right?
Yeah, that's smart.
Everything counts, trenching, all that stuff. So, you'll be saving some money in there. And in essence, is closer. And, the people you rent it to, they don't have to go through your yard. Mm-hmm. Basically, they go to their house and stairs, right? Obviously, from the front, right?
So someone who has a garage they want to convert, they can actually leave the garage and just build the second story on top. Or can you actually convert the bottom and the top two into one big unit? I know that would cost 500 square feet. I get that part. But could you also make one entry on the garage conversion and a second entry on the top to make a 2 unit, or does it have to be one unit?
No,
it can be two.
Basically, the garage you can do a garage conversion junior ADU and build on top an ADU. It's 2 separate units.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't know. I'm sorry for the naive question. I didn't know that part. Okay.
Yeah, and so with stairs on the side, right? Stairs to go up to the second unit, which is the ADU. Yeah.
So if I could stack 29, we were talking about Legos earlier, we could just stack 29 on top of each other. We could have a little condo complex.
And again, as long as the structure, like in my case, we want to make sure that there's proper reinforcement, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why, we usually hire, when we go to story, we need to have a professional civil engineer for that, so a structural engineer.
And that is an extra cost, not major. It's just an additional cost.
It is between $1,800 to $2,700.
Yeah.
It just depends on the scope of work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wow. Okay, I'm glad I thought of that. I'm I'm glad that came up in my mind because I didn't know some of the things you're just talking about right now, but I know we talked about it and perfect format.
One of the things I do want to ask for our audience is, how long does it take? The process, is it longer if you do a junior ADU versus a separate ADU? How long does the process take?
That's a great question.
Yeah, great question. So it depends, right? City of Chula Vista, they're pretty fast. For example, if you were to do a garage conversion, it might take maybe 4 months.
Okay.
But it just depends. For example, let's say somebody contacts me and then we get on board, and then within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. Or even 2 months. It just depends. Sometimes because we need to go back and forth with the client with the design needs and stuff like that. But if we agree something right away, we can have basically submitting plans to the city within a month, and then from there, more or less takes about 4 months for them to get a construction permit, and then from there, basically they can start the
okay, 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
4 to 8 months. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
One of the major questions I've actually been asked is, I know I have an HOA, and people are asking me like, how are you able to do an ADU when you have an HOA?
Yeah, HOAs, they can get in the way, right? But it's not impossible. So I have several projects where they have HOA, they have some requirements, mostly exterior requirements. So what people do is basically, if they have a garage, so that they convert the garage, right? But HOA don't want for you to basically to take away the purpose of a single home garage. So what we do is like we basically leave the garage door, and we just build a wall in the back. And in essence, if you walk to it, or if you drive by a house, you see the garage door being there, but behind it you have a unit, junior ADU and ADU. So it works out.
Good. So they can't stop you, right?
No, they can't stop you.
Because it's
that was an issue in the beginning, wasn't it?
Correct.
And then that rule basically superseded that and said the HOA can't tell you no, it's your property.
In 2020, correct. Yeah. And then that's what happened with me. Just all I had to do was aesthetically conform to the rest of the other homes.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I'm not against an HOA, right? It's like that way my neighbor can't overbuild, or he can't paint his house pink. Right. It's got to conform to everything. Yeah. So I like it.
No pink houses in Memo's neighborhood.
Yeah, because you know how I am. I like yellow.
Yellow. Can you imagine? You got like a normal painted house, then you got this yellow attachment.
Yellow right there. But that's the biggest question that I've received from from clients. Because obviously they saw me build my own ADU, and I put it on YouTube and all that stuff, and they're like, "But you have an HOA. You can't do that." You can.
Yes, you can.
It's a law. Yeah. So it's a California law that allows us to be able to do these things.
So HOA is not a bad thing. Usually HOA keeps the home value, right? So we just just gotta work around with them and basically show them, and it's gonna look nice at the end. Don't worry about it. We basically go through their they have a requirements. We submit the requirements. We get approved from them, and then we can move forward and submit to the city.
Like a neighborhood parent. We promise after the building party we'll clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I would love to just continue on with this and keep going at it. I really feel like we have to bring you in again because times change.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'd love to hear like maybe another 6-8 months. Are you down for that? Like just to hear what new rules, regulations have come in place that where people could benefit from?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity again. And, I'd love to come back and, talk to you guys.
Awesome. Well, one of the things, go ahead, Andy.
No, I would say, we want to make sure that people can reach you through William or themselves. So, what's the best way for people to follow you? You mentioned social media earlier in the show. How is it you'd like people to follow you and see your progress, see what kinds of things you're working on? Where can they find you online?
Yeah, so we have a website. You can probably put it, later on the description on the video. But sprawldesign.com.
Okay.
And also they can reach me at 619-312-3010. That's my cell phone. They can call me, and then I like to also like I mentioned before earlier in the us talking, I have a promotion right now. So if people contact me and they say where they heard about me, basically you get a 10% discount.
Yeah, Mortgage Heroes in the house.
Awesome. Hey, that's our first show discount, by the way.
That is. Thanks, Omar. Way to start 2024. He said he was going to start with the bang.
Dang.
Let's go with that. So there you have it.
Dude,
ladies and gentlemen.
2024.
Call Omar, 10% discount, which is awesome.
Wow.
Omar, is there anything that you felt we didn't ask you? A question that you feel people should know and probably we didn't ask?
Yeah. So, I mean, basically right now, there's great incentives for people to do this type of, construction, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of incentives, and like I said, it costs more to build a home. It costs more basically to buy a home. Just small, put up the cost. If they have equity, if they have some money saved, go ahead and do it because
Nice.
now at the time, right? Everything's gonna go, it's gonna be more expensive. Rent is not going down; it's going up. So, yeah, this is a opportunity for them to make extra income. And one of the things that that is really pressing people out there is more income. How to make more income?
Yeah.
So this is a way. And like I said before, also try to get a business on the side as well. So yeah.
Yeah, leverage your home at its best. Here's another thing we didn't discuss, but I'm going to put it out there real quick. I know CalFHA, the California Housing, has actually a grant for $40,000. You may just want to Google that and get that information. It's got to be owner occupied. That's not for investors. It does take some time, and they do run out of funds. But there's a grant. I have a couple of clients that actually applied for it, and they actually received it.
Yeah.
So there is escrow fees and all that. So you probably say 40,000 after escrow and all that stuff. You're probably going to be like 44,000 or something like that. But still,
But every little bit
it's
counts.
a grant,
Yeah,
and it's
every little bit
non-repayable.
helps. Yep.
So
So-
they can use HELOC too. They can run. They can run their numbers, and basically, sometimes the interest from the HELOC or whatever loan they got is gonna be, the rate is gonna cover it. So
Yeah.
it makes sense to have something like that. Yeah.
Well, you're building equity.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the payment, somebody's going to cover that payment. So
Yeah.
it's like you're going to be okay. And then when the rates go down, you'll be able to put yourself in a different position.
Well, that shows that once you build an ADU in your house, your equity goes 35% in
Yeah.
some cases.
Yeah.
And so rent
Yeah.
is going higher. Why not, right?
Well, yeah,
Why
I
not?
mean, you're adding square foot times price per square foot. I mean, so if you're doing
That's
500,
awesome.
it's 500 times that, $300 a square foot or $350 or whatever it is. That's a lot of money for most people.
Yeah. And maybe some people want to do it, but they just don't know how, right? So
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
We can help them.
Yeah.
No, exactly. This is the next gold rush.
awesome.
So thank you for sharing all that information. Again, how does the audience get a hold of you, Omar?
SprawlDesign.com. And they can also reach me at 619-312-3010.
Yeah, awesome. William,
Yeah.
thank you so much for bringing such an awesome guest today. Omar, thank you so much for joining us for Friends of Mortgage Heroes, and everyone that's tuning in, watching on YouTube. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who's been talking about ADU or doing a garage conversion. Make sure they get to know Omar, they connect with him. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to watch the Friends of Mortgage Heroes episodes, it's a whole playlist here on the channel. You can watch our other episodes with trust and estate attorneys, real estate attorney, we got realtors, we got insurance folks, lots of friends, property managers, lots of people who are coming by to join us, and we hope that you get great value out of the show. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep. Happy 2024. See ya.